resolute of heart, make firm thy mind. The tongue of a man is the rudder of the boat, but the Lord of all is its pilot. Cast not thy heart after riches, there's no ignoring fate and destiny. Place not thy thoughts on things outside, every man is destined for his hour.
On feeling goods where all of your cash went, not chakra alignment or inward refinement. Trying to find one word to describe men. Better yet, can one consciousness unify them? Pondering on these questions is where my time spent. Creative process, believe me, greatness got to achieve it. Ideas we believe in, positive mind, gotta reach in it. Putting effort to bring forth this new being. You're not consumed by the lust for things, but knows that his worth is determined by words and deeds. Your mind is affected by words and deeds. Your thoughts are keys to what you're trying to see, and what you're trying to see should be to reach your goals. Hold on to your dreams, keys open doors. Since you can't always choose circumstances, make sure to choose your thoughts wisely. Choose advancement or towards the future. Now's your chance, kid. Accept responsibility, avoid resentment. Actions always take root from what you think about. Things ain't going your way, it ain't hard to figure out. Why? Oh, why? Ask why. Ain't gotta tell you, it's right in front of your eyes. So in following these principles, you'll find along the road you're the only one responsible for your soul. It's no coincidence. Take control of your life, no coincidence. It's no coincidence. You take control, no coincidence. It's no coincidence. Yeah, it's no coincidence. It's no coincidence. Nah, it's no coincidence.
Old shells are highly prized. And this one is occupied by a sarcastic fringehead.
You're listening to Breaking News with Harry, a.k.a. The Brave. Monday around 2. How's everybody? Hopefully everybody, all the mothers out there had a wonderful weekend. Let's see. What are we going to talk about today? For anybody tuning in for the first time, you know how I do. I go through the news, check out a couple of these headlines, read the articles, and kind of pull out the truth and throw out the garbage. Right? So, let's see. I haven't heard this clip, but I want to listen to it because I see Netanyahu is talking. Hopefully he's talking in English. We could hear it together and figure it out.
President Rivlin, יושב ראש הכנסת, רעייתו, שרים, חברי כנסת, ראש עיריית ירושלים, יושב ראש האופוזיציה, Secretary Menuhin, Deputy Secretary John Sullivan, Jason Greenblatt and Naomi, and your family, Ambassador David Friedman and Tammy, and your family, senators and members of Congress.
All right, he's going through his thanking everybody.
No better friends in the world. You stand for Israel and you stand for Jerusalem. Thank you.
So today was the opening of the U.S. Embassy in Israel. And so what Netanyahu's doing there, he's thanking the Trump administration for actually finally keeping a promise that the U.S. has done, president after president. I think it was under Bill Clinton that and Chuck Schumer actually did a little press release today. Let's see. This is Chuck Schumer. In a long overdue move, we have moved our embassy to Jerusalem. Every nation should have the right to choose its capital. I sponsored legislation to do this 2 decades ago, and I applaud President Trump for doing it. Now, I know Bill Clinton promised to do it, and I think they had passed I forgot what it was, to move, they had passed something to move the embassy to Jerusalem under Bill Clinton. He promised it, didn't do it. Then after President Clinton, George Bush promised to do it. He didn't do it. Now, I don't know why these presidents, let me keep going. Barack Obama promised to do it. He didn't do it. I don't know why these presidents they didn't have the political cojones, the political balls to do this. They ran on it. All of them ran on it. They all promised to move the embassy to Jerusalem, to its capital, and declare it as capital. Now, the interesting thing is when Trump said he was going to do it, people say, "Oh, it'll take years. You'll probably be out of office by the time it happens." But Trump is not a procrastinator. They wanted him to spend a couple of $1 billion on an embassy, and he ended up spending $400,000 to fix already buildings we already had over there, to transform it into an embassy. So yeah, he even saved money there. So it went from a couple of billion to 400,000. So now Trump, this wasn't a big issue for Trump. He just completed a promise. And for everybody else, it was politics. So that means all of the other presidents promised it, but it was that political game where they really didn't intend on keeping that promise. But Trump really did intend on it, and Trump is completing promise after promise. It has to be becoming very, very scary politically for the Democrats out there, because and I have said this maybe I'm gonna say we're in May, maybe over a year ago, that I said he's gonna go down as the most hated president for keeping all of his promises. And that's on the Democrat side, or on the insane Democrat side, because even some Democrats are starting to move towards him, because he's actually, when he says he's going to make America great again, we're all Americans. So that means if more jobs are coming back, that's helping every American, whether you like him or not, right? So when salaries start going up, that's helping all Americans. I doubt that a Democrat would go to his employer and say, "I refuse to take this raise while Trump is in office," right? Even though, and this is what I mean, the loons. I heard a Democrat say they would rather lose their business because their business is doing great under Trump. So, but they would rather lose their business and not be doing great under Trump. And that's because, well, obviously they're followers, right? And it's because they have been following all the crazies, the media especially, the fake news out there. I remember when Paul Krugman, who won, I think, think he won. Forgot what it was. Was it a Nobel Prize on Economics or something? Anyway, Paul Krugman, big guy in the Democrats, in the Democrat arena, in their world, in that bubble, he said that the economy would tank almost immediately under Trump. And the problem is that the Democrats believe people like him. Now, this guy hasn't been right, I don't know, in the 20 years I've been reading him. And he's been around longer than that. But he hasn't been right. Not one of his predictions has come true. But the Democrats give him awards. They follow him. You know, they make him out to be a hero just because his intentions in his writing are against the Republicans. So Democrats cheer him on, right? But so Paul Krugman, and you have other economic bigwigs who predicted that it would be horrible under Trump and the business taxes would be horrible under Trump, that there's no way it would bring back jobs, that there's no way employers would start hiring, that there's no way employers would give raises, that there's no way employers would give bonuses. And they turned out to be wrong. Right? So, and I got to give it up to Harry Reid for actually at least acknowledging that it's a great thing what Trump did to move the embassy. He said, finally, right? And I'll read it again. I want to give credit where credit is due. Chuck Schumer, Chucky Schumer, who has flip-flopped plenty of times, right? Chuck Schumer has flip-flopped plenty of times. Like, you know, he said he worked on legislation over 20 years ago. Now, so I expected him, it doesn't matter what he did 20 years ago, I expected him to be against it because that's what Democrats do, right? Because Chuck Schumer was against the Iran deal when Obama put it together. But then when Trump got out of it, he was against that just because it was Trump, for political expediency. So, but today, I got to give Chuck Schumer credit. Let me read it again. In a long overdue move, we have moved our embassy to Jerusalem. Every nation should have the right to choose its capital. I sponsored legislation to do this 2 decades ago. And I applaud President Trump for doing it. So bravo, Chucky Schumer. Bravo. Because he had the guts, and I'm sure, you know, his constituency, he's Jewish. So he has to have some pride in this. So he actually couldn't step on what he did 20 years ago as easily as he stepped on the Iran deal. Right? So, but still, he didn't step on his own message, and I appreciate that. At least some honesty, because not one Democrat is over there. Not one Democrat is over there celebrating the embassy move to Jerusalem, right? And I spoke with Democrats today who are angry at this move, which is insane, right? They're angry at this move, and not because of the move, but that Trump did it. And once again, they said the crazy stuff. They hope for war. Hopefully this brings war. I say, well, you know, Israel and Iran have been at it already. And they were at it before Trump moved. Iran's goal is to wipe Israel off the map, right? And shame on Paris. You see, everybody was on Paris and the Brits. They were on their side. Oh, the Iran deal, blah blah blah. But shame on them for being against the opening and trying to tell us where to put our embassy. You know, shame on them. Why aren't they backing us up in this? Shame on them. You know, Germany, which, let me tell you, the Germans should watch their history and not come out against us. You know, but, you know, there's a big movement against Israel right now. You know, no surprise. No surprise. A lot of people have been hiding their feelings. And it's so funny because if you remember, not too long ago, they were calling Trump anti-Semitic. Things that make you go, Trump is the Nazi. Trump is anti-Semitic. Trump is for Israel more than any other president. And he proved that by moving the embassy to Jerusalem. See, that's the thing. The Democrats talk. Trump actually walks the walk, talks the talk. This guy is for real. We don't have an average politician in there who's going to promise you stuff and not give it to you. He's trying his best to fulfill his promises. Good Trump. Very good Trump. You're listening to Breaking News with Harry A.K. The Brave on WNHHLP 103.5 FM. Your home for community radio.
Boy, no, you can't stop it. Boy, no, you can't stop it. Boy, no, you can't stop it. Ride around that rocket. Boy, no, you can't stop it. Boy, no, you can't stop it. Boy, no, you can't stop it. I said big change my pocket. Boy, no, you can't stop me. Boy, no, you can't stop me. Boy, no, you can't stop me. Big change my pocket. Boy, no, you can't stop me. Boy, no, you can't stop me. Boy, no, you can't stop me. I lean on the scene, they can't stop it. Got time on my hands like a watches. I was a menace, diminish regardless. Getting the feeling, they feeling it godless. Debris in the air and it's garbage. See me, I'm getting them dollars. Taking it, piling it high like it's notches. Getting it, stretching it out like it's mozzarella. However, my fellas will hover. Whoever will step in the casa with the intention of being a monster. Thinking they frank, but really they hostas. They feeling the rain on the ponchos. They messing around with these honchas. They shelter the air like a conscience. That's what the meaning of clearing the conscience. Hey. In process, yeah, they tryna keep up with their copy. They tryna beat us within classes, yeah. Really can't see, give them glasses. Leaving them brains as hostage, yeah. I flick them and hit them and clip them and pass them. Leaving them dying, I'm out in the ashes. Saying I'm dead, they apostle. I burn them, they dread it like rosses, yeah. They see it how I wanna do it. That's how I'm flipping for profits, yeah. Ride around that rocket. Boy, no, you can't stop it. Boy, no, you can't stop it. Boy, no, you can't stop it. Ride around that rocket. Boy, no, you can't stop it. Boy, no, you can't stop it. Boy, no, you can't stop it. I said big change my pocket. Boy, no, you can't stop it. Boy, no, you can't stop it. Boy, no, you can't stop it. Big change my pocket. Boy, no, you can't stop it. Boy, no, you can't stop it. Boy, no, you can't stop it. I be riding around in that rocket, soaked up in the cockpit. That meaning I'm so clean, and boy, you can't wash it. All that they do is just gossip. Boy, you better watch it, cause them shells be coming out like pasta out of boxes. Yeah, no money they making, that's nonsense. My money be making me monsters. That's what they know, I got this. Man, I'ma go like an Oscar. The words I speak in binocular. That mean I'm fresh and I'm hotter. The let me bubble like hot tub. I'm calling shots like I shot to. Hey, blockity, blockity, blocker. I do it how I wanna do. I definitely doing it proper. Right around that rocket. Boy, no, you can't stop it. Boy, no, you can't stop it. Boy, no, you can't stop it. Ride around that rocket. Boy, no, you can't stop it. Boy, no, you can't stop it. Boy, no, you can't stop it. I said big change my pocket. Boy, no, you can't stop it. Boy, no, you can't stop it. Boy, no, you can't stop it. Big change my pocket. Boy, no, you can't stop it. Boy, no, you can't stop it. Boy, no, you can't stop it.
You're listening to Breaking News.
Asked that this bill like this would be able to get through committee. Granted, it's California, but seriously, the substitution of adding International Socialist Workers' Day, May Day, the day of parades in the Soviet Union that we all grew up with them menacing us with the nuclear weapons against us, and deleting either Lincoln's birthday or Washington's birthday. Are we in competition to be the laughingstock of the United States? Are we going that far to the left?
Yeah. Okay, that's California, right? That's a state senator in California outraged. California is actually voting on, and I'm sure New Haven or Connecticut is gonna run to mimic California, because that's what we seem to do here. So California is looking to pass or to replace either Washington's birthday or Lincoln's birthday with May Day, with National Socialist Day. Yeah, you heard that. You just can't make it up. Okay, these people, honestly, I think California should secede. They should leave the union. Honestly, they're insane over there. And I want to see how many, if they leave the union, how many businesses would hop towards us. You know, if they become part of Mexico, which I wouldn't mind. Anyway, so I guess they're so ashamed of our history of George Washington, of Abraham Lincoln, that they want to replace it with National Socialist Day, May Day. I guess they should actually, I don't know, I'm trying to make some sense out of it, and I really can't. Because all they have to do is look towards Venezuela. That's what they want to be. And the thing is that the Democrats think that they will be the one that would succeed in that system. That if they install the system, they would succeed. Just like every other nation that's failed doing it. Oh my God. I just don't understand what's going on. And I was joking saying that New Haven will follow. Hopefully not. It's so insane over here too. It's getting outrageous. You're listening to Breaking News with Harry A.K. The Brave on WNHH LP 103.5 FM.
I'm a perv, baby, look through your peephole. Trying to get a kiss before I leave, do you think so? Maybe. You feeling me, girl, I'm feeling you. Don't tease me, I'm about to come through right now. I know you like it when I talk low, whispering in your ear, how can you say no? Just flow with it. Come on, babe, take your chance. Relax, sexy. My dots in my pants. Get that rid of an Indian doing the rain dance. Slide my fingertips up your blouse to get a glance. Nice and slow. I know you're not ready to go. You need to unwind, sip some more wine. Whatever, the red or the white kind. Staring in your eyes, trying to see into your mind. It's written, I got 2 more lines. Heart fluttering when I see you every time. It's like, woo, 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 woo.
Like, yo, you make me wanna.
Woo, 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 woo.
I just wanna.
Yeah, woo, 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 woo.
You make the brother be like, yo, woo, you like, I said,
woo, 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 woo.
hey, yo, you make me wanna.
Woo, 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 woo.
I just wanna.
Woo, 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 woo.
You make the brother be like, yo, woo, you like, I said, okay, if you say so. Wanna be like, ooh, mommy, diamond, so that Jackie O flair, I don't mind if I say so. We could go anywhere from the east to the west coast. Chicago, okay, we keep it shifty. Love the time and the present when I'm gone, you miss me. You say so much, cause I'm wrong, you miss me. Oh, it hurts my soul to lose self-control. 2 bodies in tune with 2 frequencies. Ain't nobody like Shaka can come test me. We be the club and we rock tight. We hit the city and we rock all night. When it comes to lust, there's no issues. All day running through my mind like track shoes. A food to its spirit when we share, we give, we never take. Cause those impressions is misused. Some of these women, they don't have a clue. Well, some of them do, but not quite like you. You unique. For the first time the ground touch the beat, it's like woo. Woo, 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 woo. You make me wanna, yeah. Woo, 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 woo. Hey, just wanna, yeah. Woo, 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 woo. I said, brother be like, yeah. Woo, woo, like, I said, yeah, like, I said, woo, 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 woo. Yo, you make me wanna, woo, 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 woo. I just wanna, woo, 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 woo. I said, woo, woo, like, I said, woo, woo, like, I said.
Contemplating how to tell you I love you and thinking of you. The dimples on your face or skin and body language. And you got a brother feeling like a king with it with you. Like a man with a plan ready to conquer the world. You're a fist full of lust, so ain't no need to be ducking. Ma, you on the fine like a breeze in the summer. So no need for no beach, just you and I together. Intertwine like two hands, slowly rubbing together. You're making splashes on the match like tsunami, I get it. I'm automatic with the Mac and she call it PMP. Cause talking proper's not the problem, just a pants and a chick. But you got me singing like woo diddy woo. Acting a fool, singing no pitch, but still gonna hit. Her mind, body and soul like a Motown hit. So whine, move your body to this and let the moment be the focus. Cause they ready to sing like woo.
You're listening to Breaking News. Absolutely breaking the news with Harry, aka The Brave. All right. I was just thinking about that California thing. It's run by a bunch of commies over there. I'm telling you. And yeah, I meant it in a derogatory way. So, yeah. All right. This is interesting, right? Because with all of this collusion talk, right? About Donald Trump. This is from the Washington Post. Where's the outrage over Kerry's secret meeting on the Iran deal, right? So Democrats routinely express outrage over claims of collusion with a foreign power to undermine our democracy. So where's the outrage over revelations that former Secretary of State John Kerry held not one but two secret meetings with Iran's foreign minister to strategize over how to undermine President Trump's plans to withdraw from the Iran nuclear deal? An Iranian foreign ministry spokesman confirmed the meetings after the Boston Globe broke the news, declaring, "We don't see the U.S. just as Mr. Trump's. The United States is not just the current ruling administration. Think about what this means. Iran is a terrorist state responsible for the deaths of hundreds of Americans in Iraq, whose leaders hold rallies where thousands chant death to America." Kerry was working with a sworn enemy of the United States to try to undermine the foreign policy of the elected president of the United States. Where's the outrage? Where's Special Prosecutor Robert Mueller, right? Because he was talking about charging Michael Flynn with the Logan Act, and they were trying to get him with the Logan Act for talking to foreign diplomats during the transition period. So when he was speaking with Ukraine or Russia and talking about sanctions or whatever they said, that was uncalled for. And Robert Mueller wanted to charge him with violating the Logan Act. Right? Now, this is a guy who was going to be in Trump's cabinet reaching out to foreign leaders, which is normal, which was done under the Obama administration, but they made it a crime this time under Trump. But it was an incoming administration working through that process, that president-elect process, the transition process. and they charged Flynn, right? They threatened. Look, this is getting ugly because John Kerry isn't an incoming cabinet member. He's an outgoing cabinet member working directly against the United States, undermining the elected president. Where's Robert Mueller there? That's why I don't want to hear no Democrats with their hypocrisy. If they're not calling for Mueller to put Kerry in jail, I don't want to hear anything about collusion. The Democrats are the biggest hypocrites in the world. Where is the call for collusion with Kerry? And, by the way, let's break Kerry's door down, right? Let's meet him at his bed like Mueller did with Flynn and others. Let's get a raid going on his house. And let's put him under those lights. Let's see who encouraged Kerry to do that. Right? But it's no problem. As far as the Democrats concerned, it's no problem. Where's the outrage? Where's CNN running this to the ground for 48 hours? No, you're not going to get it. Because the media is biased. The media is fake news. It's Fox outrage all the time. It's fake, fake, fake. Okay? The media was acting like the opening of this embassy in Jerusalem is going to be the end of the world, just like they said him talking hard with Kim Jong-un was going to be nuclear war. The tax cuts were going to crash the economy. His election was going to crash the economy. Right? He's not in it only to help himself. We got the lowest unemployment rate in like forever. I can't even remember when it was this low. Right? We have the lowest unemployment rate for blacks, lowest unemployment rate for Hispanics. Jobs are coming back to America. And the world is ending according to the Democrats. Where's the outrage for John Kerry? If that's not collusion, what is? He's colluding with an enemy. Sleeping with the enemy. Democrats don't care. Why would they? They're hypocrites. You're listening to Breaking News with Harry A.K. The Brave.
Not too many make it out. I'm just trying to be the one. I'm just trying to be that one. I like the dark. I ain't chasing the sun. I know I'm gonna shine when the time come. I'ma be the best that ever did it. Just gotta stay committed. I lose my mind trying to find it, get my head together. I'm stressing. Sent my brother a message. He promised to never stop fighting as long as I'm writing. That's what I needed. Through my eyes, he'll always be undefeated. He said I got it, and boy, do I believe it. I knew it since a youngin'. You know that feeling? Like you don't really belong in the pain, but come your healing, I'm strong. But what if I ain't have to be? Guess I wouldn't be the woman I am. Being broken is half of me. They gon' say they feel me, but do they really though? When it get really show who gon' really be down for you. Say you got a circle, but they ain't really around for you. Won't feed you, but that's your man's hold a pound for you when it's beef. Man, I'm just trying to eat. Everybody catching bodies, I'm just bodying beats. Telling my story because can't nobody tell it better. Leave it to me and I'ma leave them with something that lasts forever. Breathe again, yet again. I need all the flaws, scars, and all the walls we hold to get off of me. I need a moment I can breathe again, yet again. Who to call when all the lights and shows is all we know and it's haunting me. I need a moment I can breathe again, yet again. I need a moment I can breathe again, yet again. I need a moment I can breathe again, yet again. I need a moment I can breathe again, yet again. I need a moment I can breathe again. Will you accept me with all of my flaws? Will you regret me when I'm in the wrong? Will you help me make it right? Will you keep me in mind even when I'm out of sight? I've seen so much, can't blame me for it. I been praying more. A mistake come with a price, guess I'm paying for it. Looking back on my life, all the things I did right, I ain't really get much praise for it. But I ain't come to plead my case, I came to make my peace. Let me talk to you. Do you mind if I preach? Still a lot on my chest that I just wanna release. Said this all before, feel like I'm on repeat. Getting harder to sleep, guilt trips, got my mind drifting. Ain't much change, it's a time difference. Everybody still having a hard time listening. It's these sides to every story, only mine missing. They try to read me, but I'm not a book. Couldn't judge me by my cover, took a second look. Past the chapter of believing in happily ever afters. At least that's what I keep telling myself. Is it true? I don't know, but at times it helps. Then I look around to see I got it in myself. Mind take me to an unfamiliar place. I'm looking you in the face, and all I could think to say is, I need a moment to forgive again, yet again. I need all the flaws, scars, and all the walls we hold to get off of me. I need a moment I can breathe again, yet again. Who to call when all the lights and shows is all we know, and it's haunting me. I need a moment I can breathe again.
You listen to Breaking News on WNHH LP 103.5 FM, your home for community radio. All right. This is from the Washington Free Beacon. Former Obama officials suggest European states expel U.S. ambassadors over Iran deal withdrawal. Yeah. You see, this is the thing. That Obama officials, they're sticking their neck out where it shouldn't be. The Obama officials are trying to mess with our democracy. They're the ones colluding. But let me keep reading. Two former Obama administrative officials suggested in a New York Times op-ed published Thursday that European countries allied with the United States could expel American ambassadors in retaliation for President Donald Trump's withdrawal from the Iran nuclear deal. Europe doesn't have to be Trump's doormat, wrote Stephen Simon and Jonathan Stevenson. Simon served as the National Security Council Senior Director for the Middle East and North Africa, while Stevenson served as the Regional Director of Political Military Affairs. So, former Obama officials want the European nations to expel U.S. ambassadors over a horrible Iran deal. They're taking Iran's side. The shout death to America, Iranians. Oh. Look, my hands are up in the air for those who don't see me on radio. I tell you, we are screwed. You know, because these are the people that the media loves. This is the information that they sell you. And the people eat it up. I bet there's people, very unintelligent people that I might know, eating that up and thinking, yeah, they should throw out. Like, okay. On Thursday, an analysis from the Wall Street Journal's Kimberly Strassel on the latest development in the Justice Department's decision to allow House Intelligence Committee members to view classified information about a top secret intelligence source in the FBI's investigation into Trump's campaign revealed that the FBI may have spied on the Trump campaign more than previously thought. Okay. Now, keep in mind that the FBI and the Department of Justice have been slow walking, basically a drip of the papers that Congress has requested of the investigation. They want to see everything involved in the investigation. And it's turning out that they don't have a lot of evidence as to why they started the investigation. But they have, what's coming out is that they've done a lot of crazy stuff. But let me keep reading. Strassel began highlighting remarks House Speaker Paul Ryan made in a press conference on Thursday about House Intelligence Committee Chairman Devin Nunes' demand to see more information about the FBI's top secret source. Yeah, because the FBI, it turns out, with all of these papers coming out, now it seems like they had a top source embedded in the Trump campaign. So they were actually investigating Trump before even the dossier. So it seems like they've had eyes on Trump all along, trying to entrap him, it seems. Right? Because they have no proof of anything, or, it would have leaked, obviously, and Robert Mueller would be doing flips. Right? So Nunes' demand for information on the top secret source. I think this request is wholly appropriate. This is Strassel writing, and is completely within the scope of the investigation that has been ongoing for a while with respect to the FISA warrant. Oh no, this is Paul Ryan talking. Ryan said, I actually think this is something that should have been answered a while ago. Strassel noted that this suggests that the DOJ knew full well it should have turned the material over to the congressional investigators last year, but instead deliberately concealed it. Yeah, they've been slow walking all information. And because the more information comes out, the more you realize that this is a witch hunt. Right? So the most important part of Strassel's analysis was where she dissected a recent report from the Washington Post about the FBI's top secret source. Strassel writes, the Bureau already has some explaining to do. Thanks to the Washington Post's unnamed law enforcement leakers, we know Mr. Nunes' request deals with a top secret intelligence source of the FBI and CIA, who is a U.S. citizen and who was involved in the Russia collusion probe. When government agencies refer to sources, they mean people who appear to be average citizens but use the profession or context to spy for their agency. Anyway, so right now it's a fight. It's a battle between Congress, the DOJ, and the FBI. Now, Congress has oversight over the DOJ and FBI, right? So they have to turn over the letters. They have to give all that information. But they're not. They're slow walking. And what Congress should do is they should hold the head, hold Jeff Sessions, the head of the DOJ, the head of the FBI. Hold Jeff Sessions in contempt. Force him to give that information. And if not, impeach him. It's that simple, because now, I'm blaming Sessions because he's the head, even though he recused himself like an idiot. He recused himself for nothing. While Rosenstein hasn't recused himself, and Rosenstein was the one who told Trump in a letter to fire Comey, right? So now but Rosenstein started the investigation to see if the firing of Comey was obstruction of justice, when Rosenstein was the one who wrote the letter to fire Comey. You understand? So there's a conflict of interest there. He should have recused himself. He's a witness to the investigation. All right. You're listening to Breaking News with Harry, a.k.a. The Brave, on WNHH, LP 103.5 FM.
berserk. Whoa, listen. Put a flame to the L, couple drags, lift off, drift off, facial paint and Henny to sip off, contemplate this music, working, knocking his flip off, his crisscross, these niggas starting to get soft, that's backwards, and making nieces for actors, they non-factors, the paper's all that attract us, biz ain't spitting lies, he just paint the pictures he captures, I'm turning up the degrees, feel like I got my masters, nah, I just mastered my craft, even though I came up from the lower half of my class, if my teachers could see me now, I look back and I laugh, it's like the more people that doubt me, the faster I dash, they can't fuck with my drive, I'm switching lanes on them. Crossovers, zero steps, getting bangs on them. Money go up and down, yeah, I shuffle the ish. But I'm in my bag when it comes time to ruffle the chips. Regular hustler ish. Come to try and muscle the strip. But you know how them customers get. Can't be making major moves, trying rushing the ish. Cause that vulnerability, I have you trusting the ish. Like saying you hit it, but you ain't talking the chick. Come on, dog, that ain't nothing legit. Listen, y'all, you tripping if y'all think I need a crutch in this ish. I got what I need, a gram and it's Dutch and it's lit, it's lit. So what's up? They hearing and I'm about to blow up. Show enough, they ain't even see it coming, but they know what's us. So when them haters see me, they already know what's up. Already know what's up. You already know what's up. Quit frontin' like you don't know what's up. You keep frontin' like you don't know what's up. When we already know, y'all be knowing what's up. I view the opposition. The number one rule of the head say is not to listen. A nigga could lose his drive if he pop a piston. Try and make boss moves when not in position. Listen. That shit is not suggested. Put in my blood, sweat, and tears with my guap invested. The number one rule of my patience is not to test it. I've been a grown man, won't let my pops address ish. Nah, I can speak for myself. They can be plotting low, that's why I keep the heat in my belt. They can tell you this that you can see for yourself. No matter how bad it be for your health. But your brother lend a hand just cause he know you needed the help. Not a fam on a mission, I could've defeated myself. Two heads are better than one, one hand watch the other. In no case when the situation get heated, I melt. I've been a rock, brick mason, cinder block. Never fold under pressure, in other words, I bit a lot. I ain't scared of it when they come to getting a bigger pie. Hating after all this time, then it's been an eye. I've been a rock, brick mason, cinder block. Never fold under pressure, in other words, I bit a lot. I ain't scared of it when they come to getting a bigger pie. A bigger pie, a bigger pie. So what's up? They hearing and I'm about to blow up. Show enough, they ain't even see it coming, but they know what's us. So when them haters see me, they already know what's up. Already know what's up. You already know what's up. Quit frontin' like you don't know what's up. You keep frontin' like you don't know what's up. When we already know, y'all be knowing what's up. Sick for this one.
You already know what's up. Stop crying because you already know what's up. Alright, so this is the last article. About to leave. This is from the New York Post. The dismantling of Obama's legacy proves our government still works. I agree. So Obama's library, I think, is down to like 2 rooms, right? No? They had this big structure that was going to go up in the middle of Chicago, which a lot of the people don't want it there. Their neighbors are upset that it's going there, but, right? But as Trump dismantles everything Obama has done, it's going to be like it's going to be like a 1-bedroom apartment, Obama's legacy. Anyway, his library, I mean. His presidential library. So, let me read that again. The dismantling of Obama's legacy proves our government works. It's strange that a president who had such a transformative effect on national discourse will leave such a negligible policy legacy. But Barack Obama, whose imperial term changed the way Americans interact and in some ways paved the way for the Trump presidency, is now watching his much celebrated and mythologized 2-term legacy be systematically demolished. Right? And the reason for that, hold on, systematically demolished. This in many ways tells us the American governance still works. When President Trump announced that the United States would withdraw from the Iran nuclear deal, he was able to do so without much difficulty because the agreement hinged on presidential fiat rather than national consensus. Obama's appeasement of Iran was only one in a string of unilateral norm-busting projects that deserved to be dismantled. You'll remember the panic-stricken coverage we endured when the United States withdrew from the Paris Climate Agreement, right? That's true. It's true that the deal was oversold as a matter of policy, but it was symbolic of how the Obama administration concerned itself more with international consensus than domestic compromise. And the reason, look, this article is true. You could go read it. It's long. I'm not going to read the whole thing. But Obama took it upon himself to govern with executive power, right? So he unilaterally did this, unilaterally did that, right? So everything he did, the power he used, exerted, was power that was going to be put into the next president. Of course, they thought the next president would be Hillary Clinton. So they thought anything he did, Hillary could come in, leave it there, even solidify it. But, and this is what I told the Democrats that I talk to all the time. I said, be careful that you guys think that it's fine for Obama to do these things, to make these deals like he's a king, right? Like this Iran deal. People treated it like it was a treaty. It wasn't, because he didn't involve the Congress, right? So everybody's treating it like it's a treaty, and even France and the Brits treated it like it was a treaty, and they knew better. They've been in treaties with us. They know better. But everybody treated it like whatever Obama did would stay. But when you do things by executive order, the next president could dismantle everything you did with those same executive powers. And people don't understand that, right? People don't understand. They think, why is Trump doing that? How is he doing this? How is he doing that? Because Obama, instead of passing laws, instead of signing a treaty, he did everything solo. All of his big things. Now, I'll give you a good example. Obamacare. Why hasn't Trump been able to get rid of Obamacare yet? Because they passed it as a law. So that was the one thing he did that was actually part of the process, that it went through the Congress, it went through the Senate, it reached his desk, and he was able to sign it. But all of his other stuff, all of his other so-called accomplishments were done solo. A president can't work solo. That's why Trump hasn't put his wall up yet. All right, it's been fun. You're listening to Breaking News, or you've been listening to Breaking News with Harry, a.k.a. The Brave, on WNHHLP 103.5 FM, your home for community radio. See ya!
Resolute of heart, make firm thy mind. The tongue of a man is the rudder of the boat, but the Lord of all is its pilot. Cast not thy heart after riches. There's no ignoring fate and destiny. Place not thy thoughts on things outside. Every man is destined for his hour.
I'm feeling goods where all of your cash went. Not chakra alignment or inward refinement. Trying to find one word to describe men. Better yet, can one consciousness unify them? Pondering on these questions is where my time spent. Creative process, believe me, greatness got to achieve it. Ideas we believe in, positive mind, gotta reach in it. Putting effort to bring forth this new being. You're not consumed by the lust for things, but knows that his worth is determined by words and deeds. Your mind is affected by words and deeds. Your thoughts are keys to what you're trying to see, and what you're trying to see should be to reach your goals. Hold on to your dreams, keys open doors. Since you can't always choose circumstances, make sure to choose your thoughts wisely. Choose advancement or towards the future. Now's your chance, kid. Accept responsibility, avoid resentment. Actions always take root from what you think about. Things ain't going your way, it ain't hard to figure out. Why? Why? Ask why. Ain't gotta tell you, it's right in front of your eyes. So in following these principles, you'll find along the road you're the only one responsible for your soul. It's no coincidence. Take control of your life, no coincidence. It's no coincidence. You take control, no coincidence. It's no coincidence. Yeah, it's no coincidence. It's no coincidence. Nah, it's no coincidence.
Old shells are highly prized. And this one is occupied by a sarcastic fringe.
.org.